tell by the title of this video, today I will be doing a special Mother's Day collaboration, which is titled Word for Your Mother. Word for Your Mother. I love it because we really just don't. I feel like the one thing about motherhood is that not enough was talked about it. You know, I feel like I always learned about, you know, oh, the baby comes home, it's a little hard, but it gets easier. No one ever goes into the deeps of motherhood. And motherhood is something else. Like, it's just something else. So one of my big sisters, Miss Yasmine Williams Woods. Gosh, that's a tongue twister. But Miss Yasmine Williams Woods, I went to school with Yasmine. She actually was a little older than me. That's why I say big sister. But she was really close with my big sister. And from there, I kind of just grew a relationship with her. And we were in school at the same time. So I did have a chance to just kind of get close to her. And watching Yasmine mother at such a young age was just such an inspiration for me before I even knew I wanted to be a mother. And I just always just was like, that is a boss. Like, how is she even doing this? And I think it's just beautiful. And so Yasmine is now on YouTube, and she is just thriving. And she has not only been my big sister, she has also moved into like a spiritual mentor / pastor that I've always been able to just kind of go to her page now when I need to hear a good word, when I need, you know, God to step on my toes a little bit. I feel like he uses her as a vessel. So Yasmine got together some mothers, some good modern Christian women to do this Word for Your Mother collaboration for Mother's Day. And so I am here today, as you guys can tell by my title. I am going to be doing just like a chit chat, get ready with me, doing my makeup, and just talking about my experience with giving myself grace, having transparency with my daughter, and just being unapologetically me while mothering, and also letting my daughter be unapologetically her while being my child. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. When you are done watching, I am going to list all of the other ladies in this collaboration down in the description box below. So please be sure to go check out their channel, show them some love. And I'm going to shout out a couple really quickly so that you guys can head to their channel. So yesterday's video was actually by Delle. And like I said, I will leave her channel down in the description, but make sure you go check out Delle's video. And then tomorrow, which will be Thursday, FromRock toRuby's channel, which will be listed. And also my girl Yasmine is a part of the collaboration, of course, and her video will be airing tomorrow as well. So I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, everyone's channel, I'm going to go ahead and list that down in the description box below. I didn't really talk about the products I used in this video because I've been using the same products forever. I will say really quickly, I just started using Fenty Beauty's Instant Warmth Bronzer in the color Thick Mint. And it looks like this. This is really the only thing new that I'm using, which is why I want to, can I get it open? Which is why I want to show it to you guys. So it looks like this. And like I said, I'm in the color Thick Mint. So I recently got married, which I'm going to talk about in a video because that was just an experience of itself, as you guys can imagine. But I did my own makeup and I wanted to treat myself to one little thing. And so I did. I treated myself to the Fenty Beauty contour. Well, it's a bronzer, but I look at it as contour because now with that I can take out the step of putting a cream contour. So I really love it. if you guys don't know, I usually don't buy high-end products, so that was kind of like a little spoil moment for myself. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're enjoying my content, make sure you turn your notifications on, because like I said, I'm really back, y'all, for real. I know y'all think I be playing, but I'm really back. So if you are enjoying my content, please be sure to put on your notification bell so that you can know when I drop new videos. Drop down some comments in the comments below and just let me know, like, what has your journey been like with motherhood? How have you been feeling? What's going on? Let's get some conversation going, because mamas, we are all that we have, okay? And then if you guys are interested in seeing this look, please keep watching. Okay, so I'm not gonna do much of talking about what products I'm using, simply because I plan on just leaving those in the description box for you guys. Let me get this plant out my face while I'm just trying to bring the decor, you know. So I'm gonna start off priming my face, of course, and just kind of having some mom talk with you guys. So it was kind of a little bit difficult for me to figure out what I exactly wanted to talk about when it came to mothering, because as some of you may know, whether you're a mother or not, and I'm just priming my face because I already did my brows off of camera, but whether you're a mother or not, you kind of just know that mothering has so many different areas that it's kind of difficult to be like, I'm gonna talk about that one thing. Sorry guys, I have forgot my eyeshadow. The thing is, ever since the pandemic hit, I have not really been wearing makeup because of mask, but I've been kind of just doing my brows and putting on some lashes, which, speaking of lashes, this past weekend, I just got certified as a lash technician. So that was really exciting. It's something that I have been wanting to do for quite some time now. Just to kind of go along with Dainty Extensions Boutique and just kind of have that be a service that ultimately my goal is for my lash extensions to pay for hair. So I want to kind of start off maybe doing some type of drop shipping, and ultimately I would want that to supplement hair so I can have hair on hand. That's not why we're here. I just thought you guys should know that. But yeah, back to mothering. It was kind of difficult for me to decide what I would talk about. Then I kind of decided that I just wanted to come here and talk about just giving yourself grace as a mother, especially when mothering doesn't look like how you were mothered. And by that I mean, for me growing up, my parents always had a village. I always had a cousin picking me up from school, or an aunt. I was very close with my aunts growing up. I always say, like, my aunts are the ones who provided that fun lifestyle for me. And it's not that my parents weren't fun. That's not it at all. I'm going to tell you guys what it was. What it was that I'm considered, well, I'm not considered, I am the youngest cousin on my mom's side. Well, on both sides. So all of my cousins are eons older than me. And for any of you watching, I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying that my parents kind of waited to have me. So, for example, I'm 30. Most of my cousins are like entering 50, if not already there. So a lot of my cousins not only were just your typical babysitters, but they were like just a big help for my parents. Like they picked me up from school and stuff like that, because by the time I was in school, like they were pretty much adults. Like they were always adults to me. So I was able to kind of see just what a village looked like and how much it helped my parents. But then as I got older and became closer with my cousins on that adult level, I was just able to see how that also helped my relationship with them. And then for my aunts, that was their kids. So these were actually my second cousins that, you know, I would be going to amusement parks with and stuff like that. And so I had gotten very close to them. But my point in bringing all of that up is that I don't have that. Like, I have the furthest thing from a village. And in the beginning of mothering, that was really hard for me to grasp. You know, I feel like I heard stories of motherhood, particularly in the beginning, of, you know, like family coming over and sitting with the baby while you showered. And for me, I feel like it would be like, I know this is kind of TMI, a little bit gross, I'm looking back on it, but it would be like days that would go by that I would not shower. And if you guys don't know, my now husband, I also got married since the last time I was on my channel, but my husband is a firefighter. So although he got that time off, those 6 weeks went by so fast. Like, and I think with her being a newborn, clearly during those 6 weeks, and with me breastfeeding, it was kind of only so much he could do. Like, I mean, I was feeding her. There's so much that if I have another, or, you know, could go back and change, which clearly is too late now, but if I could, I would definitely just ask for more help. And that's where that grace piece comes in. Just kind of grace for yourself. And something that I really didn't learn until like year 3, and she's going on 5. So that should tell you something. But just that grace for yourself. I never accepted the help. The help was there when it came to my husband, but I just was always like, I got it. And that made it so much harder on myself. And I think up until recently, I felt like, you know, I was functioning, because to me, what postpartum depression looked like was saying you wanted to kill your kid. That's just like the reality of what I thought it was. And while pregnant, I think I always had that fear of like, I mean, because you can't control, you know, what happens. And so I always had that fear of like, well, what if I have postpartum depression? What if I want to kill her? Like, and so when I finally had her, I think I was so afraid of like postpartum depression that I just was like, I'll do everything, because in my mind, doing everything meant like, I got this. Like, I got this mom thing. And people are always very shocked when I say like, you know, once he went back to work, I never would get that phone call from, you know, our supposed to be village saying like, you know, hey, you want me to come by so you can take a shower? And know. Like, I have to ask myself, like, now I ask myself, like, well, Jasmine, if you did get that, would you have accepted? And, of course, you really don't know until it happens. But I kind of just wish it was offered. Because then I kind of would have felt like a complete new mom. Like, I feel like I lost out on that, like, new mom experience and new mom feeling, because no one ever did that. And so then fast forward to, you know, years down the line, her grandpa on her dad's side is extremely helpful. But it's still so hard to even just think about, like, that I don't have a village. And just kind of because of that, giving myself the grace that, like, every day isn't gonna be good. Like, I have some really, 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 really tough days where I'm just like, if I just had, you know, like, my mom here or my sister here to just help me navigate, like, this, you know, and not even, like, coming to get her or taking her off my hands. Sometimes it's just as small as, like, hey girl, I'm coming over, you know, like, sometimes for me it's just as small as that extra person, that extra adult there with you, so you just don't feel like you're constantly with a toddler. And so the reality is I don't have that. I guess that's what I'm getting to. I do not have that. And so I've had to really just have grace with myself and just, you know, remind myself that, like, I don't have that. And I've also had to remind that to K-Dot, because I feel like, you know, sometimes, especially since, you know, the daycare she goes to, her grandkids go to that daycare, so she sees what that looks like, and she sees, and I mean, she goes to her papa's house, and so she knows, like, that's a thing. But, like, sometimes I truly believe that we get tired of each other, and sometimes when we just have really, really bad days, I'm just really learning to be very, very transparent with her and just say, like, hey, like, you know, I'm sorry that we had a bad day. Mom is just tired, and mom is really stressed, and I don't know how to manage that. And I think telling your kids that early, being transparent with them early, giving yourself grace early, giving you guys as a pair that grace early, I think it really will, like, eliminate some of that when you see, you know, older kids kind of just having that anger towards their parents for something that happened when the parent was just learning and the parent didn't know how to give themselves grace. I think it goes so far, you know, because sometimes I'll say sorry to her and she'll say, it's okay, mommy, you're just a little sad right now. And I don't think she really knows, like, the difference between, like, frustrated, sad, you know, all of those different emotions. But the fact that she can grasp that, yes, I'm sad, mommy just needs a moment, it is so special to me, because it's kind of like, well, we are growing up together, navigating it together. And, you know, I just want us to always just have that transparent relationship. I want us to, you know, I know it's always not going to be just roses. It wasn't with me and my mom, and I love my mom, and, you know, I don't even have a time that I can say, like, my mom was a bad mom. And she didn't explain that kind of stuff to me, because she didn't come from the generation that happened, which, once again, it comes with grace. Like, I have grace for my mom because I know that she didn't come from the generation of apologizing parents. You know, it just wasn't a thing. But I do want that kind of just difference with me and my daughter, because I do want, when she does become a teenager and when things are really crazy, I think they're crazy now, but when things are really crazy, I do want her to just be able to come to me. I want her to be able to talk to me about things that, you know, I wasn't comfortable enough talking to my mom about, or, you know, just anything. Like, even if it's not a comfortable, you know, even if it has nothing to do with comfortability, I still want her to be able to talk to me so that we don't have those times where it's just like toxic. Like, I feel like the reason I give myself so much grace as a mom, and I'm so transparent as a mom, like, I will be the first one to say, like, motherhood is some straight, don't you say it, but just giving myself that grace. And another thing that has really helped me is finding someone I can relate to, which doesn't always have to be mother talk, but just different ways of growing and evolving. And I'm saying the word evolving because if you know me, you know I love me some Sarah Jakes Roberts, and I feel like I started listening to Sarah the most when I became a mom, because I would just find myself sad. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier when I was talking about postpartum depression. I think I skimmed over it, but what I was saying was, I feel like I didn't think I had postpartum depression because I was functioning, and because I didn't think I want to kill my child, because at that time that's all I thought postpartum depression was. So I'm saying that to say, when K-Dot was a newborn, I was constantly sad. Like, I just had sad days. I just wondered, like, why I didn't have any help. Why was this so hard? Like, why? It wasn't even about, like, the crying. For me, it was more just like, this is an actual extra body part, and I can't handle this all day long. And so Sarah Jakes Roberts got me through so much, because it more so helped me become a woman. And becoming a woman and evolving into womanhood, I was able to evolve more into motherhood and just kind of like sit in it and, you know that it could be worse. And not saying that her situation was worse, but it makes you think, like, what if I was 14, having her, and she did have a village? But that still had to be hard, even if it was just more mental, like, wow, I'm 14 and I'm a mom. And so I really, just found comfort in Sarah. And I think that's how I just became so just in awe of her, because she truly got me through some of the toughest times in parenting and motherhood. Because I don't know where I would have went, if that wasn't the case. Because I also feel like my mom wasn't here, and I was very afraid sometimes to tell my mom if I was sad, because I didn't want her to worry, and I didn't want her to think something was wrong with me. So I would just kind of like mask it and be like, oh, everything's fine, everything's great. And so, yeah, I definitely think if I decide to have another, I want to keep the grace part there, but I do think it will just be very different, because I think I'll just do things differently. I think as a mom, a first-time mom especially, you panic about everything. Like, everything has to be so perfect. You don't want them to cry and stuff like that. As a second-time mom, I think I'll be like, you my friend are fine. So yeah, I think it just comes with that. But I definitely think the whole grace thing as a mom has definitely just kind of saved me. You know, with her talking a lot now, because we're at that almost 5-year-old talking, it has become harder. Mainly in the sense of she is acknowledging when I have an attitude. Like, she told me one day, because I just had a day, and I was over it. And I asked her, I was like, can you please just get out of my room? And she said, no, I didn't ask her to get out. I asked her not to sit next to me. Petty, I know, y'all. And she said, you know what, Mommy? I'm going to my room because you have an attitude, y'all. To hear a 4-year-old tell you have attitude, to hear your 4-year-old tell you have an attitude is a lot. That was a lot to take in. But it did make me do a little self-reflection. Like, you know, she's getting older and she's noticing. And so this is the time for me to have more of open dialogue and grace for each other. That, you know, we're in this together. You my little home girl. But we gotta chill out a little bit. But no, seriously, it did definitely, that conversation was definitely just an eye-opener of, like, you know, she sees everything you're doing, and this is the time, you know, to make those mistakes, but also correct them in the moment of where she can see, and show her that, you know, as a mother and daughter duo, we're going to go through a lot of hills together, and we have to keep grace and transparency and just being unapologetically us a thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look. To be honest, 2 years ago, this makeup look probably would have been purples and blues and flowers. I have really, I don't know if it's part of that evolving, but I have really just kind of chilled a little bit and have more of a natural look. And if I have on makeup, that's really the look I like. I don't know if it came with age or what, or, you know, COVID, I don't know. But I really do just kind of enjoy just like a neutral eye, some bomb lashes, and a glowy face. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The women that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, please make sure you guys check out their channels and their videos. I think this is such a great collaboration that Yasmine Woods put on. I told you guys in the beginning of this video, but I love Yasmine. I've loved her for so many years now, and I'm just so proud of her growth and everything that she has done. So once again, thank you, Yas, my big sister, for putting this together. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.